An intense debate is underway over the benefits and drawbacks of human microchips. They're already used to identify ranch animals and pets, but the practice of implanting chips in people is also on the rise. Those who embrace the idea say they see it as a way to take back control of their personal data, but others are worried about how that data could be used. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports from Southern England. It's part of our Breakthrough series on the leading edge of science, technology, and medicine.
I don't want to live a normal life. I want to live an exceptional life, and I want to try things and do things that perhaps others in my situation have never done.
Meet Alex Lewis, interior designer, businessman, adventurer, and motivational speaker.
We were just an ordinary family. Me, Lucy, and our son Sam. Then, just over 2 years ago, I caught a common cold. It was to change the course of my life overnight.
I'm in this condition thanks to an incredibly rare case of strep A, and it led to toxic shock syndrome, septicemia, and subsequently sepsis. I lost all 4 limbs within about 6 or 7 months.
Alex is a pathfinder for those with serious medical conditions. In the remains of each arm, a microchip has been implanted. One is to hold medical information, the other for a chore the able-bodied take for granted.
For me, as a prosthetic user, one of the most fiddly things is keys. Keys are a nightmare for us. And the microchip, when looking into it, we realised quite quickly that it could save a lot of time. So for me, it was going to be beneficial for that. I could lose 15 minutes trying to get in my front door. I could lose 10 minutes trying to get out of my back door. And now all that's been saved.
These microchips use a system called near-field communication. It's exactly the same sort of technology used in contactless debit and credit cards. Like the bank cards, the chip's information can be scanned, but it cannot transmit. Once banking security has been configured, developers believe consumers will soon be free to spend with the implant. A British railway ticket, but it's much different in Sweden, a country supposedly leading the microchip revolution. On Sweden's high-speed rail lines for the past 18 months, implanted passengers have put their travel payment on the chip.
Jag tycker det är jättebra med...
I think it's really good with the chip ticket. I love all companies that use the chip technology.
But the rail company is stopping the experiment. The number of implanted passengers is relatively small, and it wants to pursue other forms of ticketing. This is not a setback, insists Sweden's microchip pioneer Johan Österlund, a former body piercer seen here giving a TED talk.
We can do easier travel. We can do faster and safer payment. We can do something as mundane as opening a door. I mean, the opportunities are endless.
Unfortunately, these innovators often don't think about the political ramifications.
Gus Hussain is the executive director of Privacy International, a non-profit that challenges overreaching state and corporate surveillance.
In today's world particularly, we have to imagine how governments and how ambitious politicians and even ambitious corporate executives will try to imagine putting this type of technology into you so that they can exploit your data and ultimately exploit you.
I'm going to ask you to keep your hand just nice and relaxed like it is.
IT student Kieran Anderson is being chipped by Dr. Jeff Watson, a consultant anaesthetist who's driving research into the medical benefits.
The microchip's actually inside here, and there's a sort of introducer piece of plastic that will push it out once it's in. Okay, so this is the implant coming now. You'll feel a bit of pressure and a bit of a clunk. So you're now a cyborg. Welcome. Not too bad, yeah, that's fine. Kieran has a near-field communication microchip in his hand, and that can be used to store data, store information, his name, address, contact details, anything he chooses to put on there, blood type, allergies, basic medical information.
The idea of everything being able to commute together excites me quite a lot. So, automatic payments and that sort of thing without you having to actually do anything.
The idea of this chip is that it's not transmitting anything. It has to be actively read. You choose who can read it and when they can read it. I think that gives us a lot more personal control over our information than your mobile phone is giving away.
But Privacy International's Gus Hussain is yet to be convinced.
Already governments are keen to capture your fingerprints. They are keen to capture your iris scans, and they want to be able to do this at a distance so they can identify as you walk through areas. They're doing facial recognition. These are all fallible technologies. They're hard to do well, but the idea that they could actually just embed you, it is the modern form of tattooing barcodes on people. And we've seen governments do that in the past. This is just the next generation.
Stephen Northern, the co-owner of the British implant company, believes those fears are exaggerated.
So I've been compared to Hitler before for microchipping people. It's been commented, but I mean, I can't really see the connection personally. I can understand people have very strong views. There's big ethical arguments around microchipping people, but currently it's by choice. No one is enforcing you have to be microchipped. If that happens, completely different ball game and lots more arguments to be had around it.
Eddie Curry favours using chips to replace keys at his weekly newspaper on England's southern coast. He fears the publication is at risk in the changing global media market and wants to attract new income by turning the company into a hub for digital innovators.
I'm well aware that this technology could be used for all sorts of sinister things, but for us here, we're an ethical firm. We don't envisage doing anything more than that, and we wouldn't force anybody to have one because we can understand they may be reticent about it.
But the majority of staff have rejected the offer to be chipped.
The benefits, just being able to open a door wouldn't really be sufficient for me to have something implanted in my body.
Well, I haven't got any concerns because obviously this is quite a small company, and I don't think it will be abused here.
I suppose somebody has got to be the trailblazer so that other people can see how it works. I don't want that to be me.
Jeff Watson sees huge potential, especially in the medical field, for those with illnesses such as diabetes.
Take a diabetic who collapses in the street and people don't know what to do. By the time the ambulance has arrived and worked things out, it may take hours before they're properly treated. Whereas a simple instruction read from the phone, my name is Joe Bloggs, please contact this number for my next of kin. I'm diabetic, please give me some sugar and it should make me feel better. Those kind of things could make life-changing advances for individuals.
The chips can be read by scanners installed in the latest mobile phones. So how easy would it be for a hacker to steal the information from the implants used by parents and others?
Any technology is open to abuse, and anybody would be able to hack it. In order to hack these devices, it has to be held still for a period of time. At the moment, I think that takes about 3 to 4 hours to hack it.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Alex's wife Lucy is not troubled by security concerns, but is looking forward to the second generation of chips.
Alex travels overseas an awful lot. And before he goes overseas, I have to do this whole packaging of medication, what medication he's on, and passports. I'm always worried about who has his passport. And so all of those things, it will eventually come into it so that he'll be able to use all of that information without me worrying about where it is or who it's with.
At present, Alex Lewis relies on a driver, but he hopes the next breed of implants will put him behind the wheel.
To be able to get into the car, to start it without any kind of key with the microchips, that will be fantastic. But it just opens up a bit more freedom for me.
Privacy International's Gus Hussain insists he's not a Luddite, a person opposed to new technology.
Every technology that comes along has to be treated with complete suspicion until we're able to sort out the ethical barriers around our actions.
I live an incredible life, a life that I'm incredibly happy to be living.
As this technology improves, the debate will intensify as to whether implants generate or diminish freedom, as well as the many shades of grey in between. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Martin Brabant in southern England.
Hey, you see that? The radio frequency identification technology using human microchips is used to register almost all ranch and farm livestock in the U.S. Keep that in mind. All right? Yeah. So as you saw in the opening clip, this idea of the RFID chip, the NFC chip, this technology is not as far-fetched as you people might believe, all right? So You know, before we begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Yeah, the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there laboring in His work. And as always, want to say shalom to you believers out there, you know, the Akim, as well as the Akwath, which consists of you brothers and sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So this live stream right here is going to be entitled The Beast System, Who Have Ears to Hear or Ears to Bore, all right? Because we're about to move into the next phase, if you will, of prophecy. See, it's bigger than the so-called white man, you know, in his plans. This thing is about Yahweh Shema Shah. And we coming into a time where all these people see the most controversial topic really is the mark of the beast, man. This is where we get the most friction because for the most part, a lot of these top tier groups, if you will, that stem from One West, they pretty much got 90-95% of everything right. You know, save GOCC, you know, or one of those groups, right? But for the most part, a lot of these groups, they, you know, everything is pretty much spot on. But when it comes to the chip, you know, you have a oppositional force out there in the spirit, right? They come up against that, but guess what? That's the will of Yahweh Shema Shah. You got to remember that the actions of the Lord is centered around drama. And there's a certain shock value that's going to come along with these prophecies as they unfold. There's going to actually be a moment, there's going to be a I told you so moment. And that's going to be when the chip is made mandate, which you got to be out of your mind. You got to be totally in the dark. You got to be blind, for real, man, to not see the correlation with the RFID chip, this technology, which you just saw in the presentation, man. That presentation really just summarized everything, you know, from the, you know, the concerns to the benefits across the board, you know, to the next phase and spending money or dealing with business to something as subtle as opening damn doors. It's all centered around the microchip. So all of a sudden, the scriptures don't speak about that, man. You know, when Yahweh Shema Shah knows everything, right? So, you know, for us, you know, you brothers and sisters out there like that has been called into the marvelous light, you privy to what's going on, you see clearly that this is dealing with the RFID chip. I mean, the RFID chip is dealing with the mark of the beast, should I say, spoken of in the book of Revelation, 13th chapter. So before we get into this, you got a precept?
Yeah, kind.
All right.
Yeah, this Ezekiel 33 and 33.
That was it. Yes,
it said, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come.
Right, yeah, and when this cometh to pass, and lo, it will come, and that's heavy, that's dealing with prophecy, but in particular, that's really dealing with the chip. You know, because you got to have, see, you got to be able to extrapolate, man. You can't just be robotic in this truth. You got to have your senses exercised, or it tells you that. So the Lord set it up, right? Well, that's the big topic. Starting with the Apostle Tahar and the men here at Great Millstone, we push out that vibration of the microchip, you know, and you should see the writing on the wall. You got these devils attempting to crash the dollar. You know, they putting this money into circulation, which is going to create inflation, which is going to spill over to hyperinflation, right? Which ultimately they're looking to crash the dollar. See? So that's all done in effort for them to press the reset button and bring about a new currency. So you see, that's really the overtone, right? So read this again. So with knowing that, right? Now let's read this again.
And when this cometh to pass.
When what coming to pass? See? Read it again.
It said, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come.
See?
Then shall they know that a prophet have been among
Because we've been telling you a lot of stuff that has already come to pass. We've been telling you straight up and down, for an example, that the so-called white man is against you, you know, they hate you. Then all of a sudden, George Floyd happened. Or even before that, you know, the guy got choked out selling the looses up there in New York. You know, we're telling you that these different nations has put all their money and their resources into developing ICBM missiles. That came to pass. But people still, but guess what? Once they make it mandate, when your ass is required to show up at a chipping station, then you're going to know the prophets was amongst you. That's why the Lord said it stays this way. That this chip thing is the real controversy. So let's read that one more time.
God, this is Ezekiel 33 and 33. He said, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come.
Yep.
Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them.
Because why is this important in relation to the chip? Because this is going to actually change your day-to-day business as usual routine. You see that? You know, we might call it straight about the missiles. We might call it straight about, you know, tensions amongst the people, sedition among men, civil unrest, even the famine. Don't make us go into that again, you know. The famine, right? The food shortages and the food becoming scarce. But this chip, which that links into the famine too. But the chip, that's going to change your outlook. That's going to change the very dynamic, the landscape of America. Since you ever remember, since you was born, right? You've been dealing business a certain way. You know, you've been dealing with money, paper dollar, paperbacks, and credit cards and debit cards ever since you was little, ever since you were born. But guess what? Once this chip is made mandatory, and this is exclusively how business is going to be conducted, that's going to change your whole outlook. See that? And that's already taking place over there, like in China, I think Taiwan. There's certain places where you can't even use a credit card. I mean, or Slovakia, you can't even use credit card. You got to use your phone. It's just which the chip is in the phone. All right. So you got something up?
Revelation 13.
You know what? Get that. If you get it in the blue letter. Go ahead. Matter of fact, let's bring it out. Get it in the blue letter.
Let's say something too.
Go ahead. You got
it. You want to get something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Just speaking back on that mark of the beast, that's the most, like you said, the most controversial prophecy, because that's the one you can't get wrong, man.
Yeah, true that.
You get the mark of the beast wrong. You dead. Man.
Well, you know what? Get that. The book of Revelation 22.
Yep.
And also get Revelation 14, because that actually spills over into that. And that's right. This is the one prophecy you got to get right. You know, because if you wrong, you know, one iota, if your measurement's not right, you know, you come up with the wrong formula and you get it wrong, somehow you miscalculate that ain't right. And then you take that chip, that's your ass, man. And you notice that it's a buildup. The scriptures, the Lord tell you the ramifications behind taking the chip. So that proves that Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, is actually talking about the chip, man, if you can receive it. Matter of fact, go ahead and get Revelation 14 chapter.
God, Revelation 14 and 9. The third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast.
And real quick, you know, I feel, you know, I got to bring this out, that this lesson right here is going to be centered around this system and the fact that this really is nothing new when you think about it. Okay? When you go into the statue in Daniel, okay? The fact that the so-called white man will be the legs and the foot, well, it's a reason behind that, because they're upholding all the different customs of old. For an example, when you celebrate Christmas, you celebrate an ancient Babylonian custom, the Christmas tree, and so forth, right? Easter and all these different, you know, the bunny eggs and all that, you know, the goddess of fertility. And well, that's Esau upholding all these different ideas, you know, these deities, if you will, these entities that was pushed forth and promoted in the ancient world. So that's why Esau is the legs, is holding up all these different, you know, and we're going to show you through the spirit, when you go back to the past, this system was somewhat in play. You know, it was somewhat in play. Right? So now read that again.
God, this Revelation 14 and 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image.
Right. If he worships the beast in his image. Now you have a lot of people read that, even amongst Israel, and they'll perceive that to be talking about the image of Cesare Borgia. You know? But that's not talking about that. The image is talking about whatever this system pushed forth. All right. The image is a reflection of you. You know, that's why on the flip side, we see the image of our Lord, you know, by way of understanding his word, right? The face of the Lord, right. You see? You got something else you want to say?
No.
So the image of Esau, the image of the beast system is where he pushed forth. All right? Go ahead.
God, it says, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
And that's literal right there. Receive his mark in your forehead or your hand, which you got plenty of examples. It's well documented of these different people out there that received that chip in their brain, you know, to assist them in their defaults or whatever. You know, they might get injured in war, or they might be blind or whatever. And that chip, matter of fact, you can hold that too in 2 Thessalonians.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, go ahead and
Go
get
on,
that.
get it. All right. God.
Because you got people, you can Google it for yourself. Look, man, we're in an information age, man. You know, you can actually Google and research these things for yourself. You know, you got people out there who had a certain ailment. They maybe was blind. They received their sight. They might have was paralyzed on one side, and they got that chip in their brain. Oh, what's the movie we were just talking about? That's a bad movie, man. Shit. Oh, y'all might know what we talking about. You know the movie we was watching over at the house where the guy got the chip. If you still on the comment board, put that movie up in the comment section. That's a bad movie right there. But it goes into the scriptures. And it goes into what we're about to read right here. Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians 2:9. It says, even him, even him who's coming.
You jump up.
All right, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. It said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
And that's the thing. Right, the so-called white man is actually being revealed for the devil that he is, man. Okay, go ahead.
Upgrade too. The brother put the gem as Lord's upgrade.
Yep, upgrade. Yep, hey, Tawada, that's it. Yep. That's it. Yep, upgrade. Right, if you ever saw that, it goes right into what we were saying. You know, right? Go ahead.
Like I said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yep, go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Read.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Yep.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
See, with all power and signs, see, and lying wonders, man. Yep. So that chip is a part of that. You know, that chip falls under that category. That chip is actually bringing people back to their senses. You know, they might have lost one of their senses, should I say their sight or their touch. You know, they might have been paralyzed. And they get that chip in their brain and they brought back. Right? So that's what that scripture is going into. You got something else?
Oh, no, that was it.
That was it? You got something?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, go ahead and we're going to go back.
This is the book on Revelation 13:14. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
See, that's it, by the means of those miracles. And I encourage you out there to watch Upgrade. It's not on Netflix, but
what is it?
Yes Movies.
Yes Movies.
Yes Movies, yeah. Right? Read that again.
He deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
By the means of those miracles, right? And that chip is going to push forth. That's going to be that springboard, if you will, that's going to propel forth these miracles, right? Go ahead.
Which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Yep, in the sight of the beast. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
Right. Yep. So they're going into the Roman Empire that fell, but the Lord put a resilient spirit on these devils to come back into power. That's spoken of in the book of Malachi. Where they said we will return and build desolate places, right? So they came back. That deadly wound was healed, which the beast would be, NATO in the EU. All right, that's the beast system. Okay, which this is global. When you go into the NATO, that's global. Okay, so this system is not only reserved or designated to America. That's why you see the opening clip. It had Sweden, you got China. This is a global system here that we're dealing with, right? So now, y'all ain't got nothing else. Let's go back.
All right, back. Revelations 14:9. It said, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Right, so that forehead would translate to your brain. So you think come on, man. Like we just making this up, You can actually see where it actually can be filtered through current events. This is reality here, man. You actually got people with the chip in their brain. That's the forehead. Go ahead.
It says, the same shall
drink. In their forehead, in his right hand.
Or in his hand.
It said in his hand.
Yep.
Right there. Because you got a lot of people say, well, hold up. The scripture say in the right hand. But what if I get in the left? Well, we read right here where it just say hand, man. Period. Like the Apostle Paul said, you can get it in your butt cheek, Oh, but you got this guy, Homer Simpson, right? Who was jacked up. The Lord jacked that nigga up, man. And he did something in his past life. And the Spirit had it where you was going into how he could have hacked limbs. That was a custom. They'll actually hack Jake's limbs off. You know what they'll do? They'll tie their limbs to horses. Like they'll tie your arm to one horse, this arm to another horse and a leg to this horse or that horse, and they'll shoot a damn gun and the horses will catch out and it'll rip you apart, rip your arms off, man. So he got justice. He said it came from some damn disease. That was your how about Shemaiah shot. You know?
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
God, Revelation 14:10. He said, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
But the point is, he had his chip in a damn nub. He had his chip in a nub. You see the nigga, he came and he waved his hand across the door, man. So, you know, you got these naysayers that vehemently come up against this truth, man. Yahweh Shema Shai gonna deal with you, man. You coming, we know this is obviously the truth. Oh, that's why Yahweh Shai said, I know that I have the truth, yet you don't believe me. That's not, we get it, I get it now. We know that this is the truth, and you come up against it, we like, man, the Lord is only one option, man. You know, you got to suffer a horrible death, man, right? But again, you had this guy, he had the chip in his nub, and I think he had a chip in each nub, right? And it was an effort as well to cure him, you know, to help, not cure him, but he can get his limbs to function, man. So that's the miracle, right? See? Go ahead.
It said the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
Yeah.
Which is poured out without mischief.
Right. So this means that you're going to feel the full brunt of the fury of the Lord. So let's show you that the chip is the real deal. Let's show you that we must be the prophet starting with Apostle Tahar, man, because the Spirit is on us to push the vibration of the chip out there. And we seeing a penalty for taking the chip. Why all of a sudden we adamant about pushing the chip and the Lord is co-signing us, signing off on it. By saying if you do take that chip, you're going to really get it. See? I mean, the Lord backing us up, man.
That's it.
Right? But again, once this thing is made manifest, once this thing come out, then you people going to know that a prophet has been among you. Right? So that was it right there?
Yeah, that was pretty much.
You got something else?
Right.
You got that revelation? Go ahead and get that. Then we're going to...
It's the book of Revelations 13 and verse 16. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor.
Now hold up, we bring out this precept a lot, but it's a lot of meat in this, you know? There's a lot of meat. This is not as of an open and shut case as you might think. This is heavy what we read. Let's read this again. Let's examine this. Go ahead.
It's on Revelation.
You in the blue letter, right?
Yeah,
all right, bet.
It's the book of Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Now, that in itself eliminate these different attempts, these feeble attempts to try to discredit what we teach. So you got guys who say that the mark of the beast is an embargo or Christianity, man. No, you actually got simple, they say that the chip is sleeping with white women, man. You know? Well, what we just read right here, it cancels out all that. If you're paying attention. Read it one more time, huh?
It says, and he causes all, both small and great.
Small and great, right? Oh, because you got some that say that's talking about small and great nations. Okay, let's concede. Let's say if that's right. Okay, small and great. Go ahead.
Rich and poor.
Rich and poor. All right, go ahead.
Free and bond.
Now, hold up. Well, where'd that come in at? You got certain nations that's free and some bond? No, this is actually talking about individuals, people on the planet Earth, the rich and the poor, all right? Because you know what proves that? Because prior to the chip, you know, or the idea of the chip, you had like the middle class, you had the, you know, you had the super rich, you had the middle class, you know, whatever, right? But with this thing, everybody is going to be a level playing field. Everybody got to get the chip. It's not going to be where you're going to be categorized or you know, or framed off into different categories, you know, right? So it said they're going to cause all free and bond, rich and poor, right? Go ahead.
It says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right, in their right hand or in their foreheads. See? Now, matter of fact, continue. Read on, then we'll go back there.
Verse 17, it said that no man might buy or sell.
See, that no man might buy or sell. All right? So that disqualifies nations. Okay, to a certain extent, because the embargo, you know, they might say, well, okay, you can't import. All right, we give you that, right? But what about the free and bond part? You know? See? Go ahead, you want to make a point?
Yeah, I'm going to make a point. That's why we realized when COVID-19 started, they started letting prisoners out of jail. Niggas that was doing 15 to 20 years, they was just letting them out because they had the COVID-19, but through the Spirit, you know, they was taking the chip, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they were taking the chip, right? That it's going to be an incentive that comes with the chip as well. You know, hey, if you take the chip, we put $5,000 on there, you know. And then it's going to be a form of desperation because these devils are going to box you off. In a minute, these devils are going to pull back, you know, the goodies, you know, the resources that they've been giving you. Then you're going to be forced to take that chip. That's why the scriptures say the just shall live by faith. See, those scriptures start to make sense when you get into the nuts and bolts of the prophecies, man. Okay? So continue right here.
It says, and that no man might buy or sell.
Right, it said that no man. Then that's the point right there. That no man. So even if you want to say countries import, export, or they might be hit with sanctions or whatever, right? That disqualify that. It said no man. Right? Go ahead up.
Say we have.
Now, can I say something real quick, Salaki? Right now, they're conditioning you to shop with Grubhub. You notice it, man. Like you see, what's the ads that come up? Grubhub and shit like that, right? So they encouraging you to shop. You know, the convenience of shopping with Grubhub, I bring it right to you. You know, but it's centered around this digital currency, man. So this is not a far-fetched idea. This is an easy transition into the chip. Okay? Medical records, where you had that devil to say, you know, he was trying to advocate and you know, make a point for getting the chip. They said if you had diabetes, you fell out, then the ambulance get there, they can see your medical records, you know? Or let's just say your car note. You know, you got Jake out there, Jake got these new whips. They want to pay their insurance, their car insurance, their car note. Well, the only way you're going to do that, you're going to have to get the chip, right? So go ahead. There's so many ways we can go with this, man. All right, go ahead.
It says that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark.
Save he that got the chip. All right? Go ahead.
Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right, go ahead.
Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of
now,
the
it's
beast.
heavy when you go into the name of the beast or the number of his name. It's no different than with Yahweh Shai. If you come in the name of Yahweh Shai, that means you come under the banner. It's like, if you ever saw this movie, it's the comedy with that dude, Martin Lawrence, the Knight's Tale or some shit like that. Remember that? Remember he came, he said he was from Normandy or some shit. He came in the name of the king, man. The king that had to come there. So he came in the name, under the vibration, under the flag, the banner of that king. So when it says they have the name of the beast, that's talking about this system. You coming in the banner of this system. It's like Visa. Let's say if I got a Visa card, that means I'm coming in the name of Visa, right? I'm getting this purchase in the name of Visa. So that's the same. We have the name of the beast, right? But it says, here's the number. Read that part again.
It says, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of man.
Oh, it says what?
For it is the number of a man.
It's the number of a man, and that man is Esau. That's the man. Is this the man that made the nations? That's the same man. Okay, it's the number of a man, meaning it's of the production of Esau. You know, if you go into manufacturing, you know, you have different numbers. You have serial numbers. You have, you know.
Is it?
You ever saw forensic files, right? Where you might, they might find a certain, you know, you might use a goddamn garbage bag, and they'll look at the number of the production, and they'll see, well, hold up, you bought this from this.
Family
Yeah, you bought that Family Dollar, man. It came from that number. It was of that number. So this is the number of a man, meaning this is the production of a certain man. Right? So continue.
It says, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 6.
His number is 600, 6. You'll look up there right quick. That's 600, 6. Let's see what it give us. And you know, just bear with us. We're gonna get through this, man, through the spirit. All right. You know, these lessons be tedious because this is a lot of information. You know, we've been deprived from a lot of information, but now the Lord is like going to a buffet, man. There's so much there, you know, so much there, right? You got that? Let's see what it gives you.
It says Chi-Psi stigma.
Oh, it's a Chi-Psi stigma. Stigma, right? So now that's the 666 Chi-Psi stigma, right? The third one rounding it all off, right? So that would be stigma. So now let's look at, you got the word stigma?
Yeah.
Let's see what it gives you right here.
Not the word stigma. It says just a regular Google dictionary definition. It says a mark of disgrace.
Hold up. A what?
A mark of disgrace.
Go ahead.
Associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Now, that means that you have a stigma attached to you, right? Associated with you. That means it sticks to you, right? It sticks to you. You have a stigma. Oh, this guy got a stigma for being a thief. It sticks to you wherever you go. See that? Go ahead. You got more over here? Because, well, if you don't get nothing else out of it, you can dig and see. If y'all ever saw this old movie, called Stigmata?
Yep.
You know, it's going into like the marks on the hands. You know. See if you put us up anything else. You got some over here?
Yeah, kind of just going back to the stigma. This is the book of Isaiah 30 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, they take counsel, but not of me. They cover with their covering."
Hold up, read that again.
It says, "Woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord, they take counsel, but not of me. And they cover with their covering, but not of my spirit.
Yep.
They let me add sin to sin."
Yep. And that's what our people is done to this very day and is doing and is eventually going to do. You know, they're gonna look for Esau for covering. And a part of that covering is to receive that chip. And we're gonna go more in depth into that through the spirit. All right. So that was it on that. Go ahead. If you got more, I know there's more in there.
Jump verse 2. It says, "They walk to go down into Egypt." And it's like
they walk to go down into Egypt, which is symbolic to America. Go ahead.
And have not asked in my mouth.
Yeah, they don't inquire of the prophets. Hey, everybody know about us. Y'all saw the video of Carmelo?
Oh, yeah.
Carmelo came out and said, "Hey, let's talk about the 12 tribes, man." Hey, that was beautiful, man. Yeah. You know, and you can see the spirit was on him, you know. Hey, the spirit of the Lord rests wherever it rests. It's like the wind. You know, the spirit was on him. He said, "Hey, and the Lord let us see that." So we know that was the spirit, right? So this idea of Israel and the truth is being pushed forth. But Jake is not going to inquire of us, right? So it's going to be a penalty behind it. Read that again.
It says, "They walk to go down to Egypt and have not asked in my mouth."
Right, you're not inquiring of the prophets. Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Oh, you strengthen yourself in the strength of Pharaoh. You give me that in is that Kings, First King?
Okay, First King.
I think it's 18 and 21. Is it Second King? Lean on the staff.
Oh, you talking about
18.
I know it. I know it says.
Get the one you got. Get the one you got. All right. While he getting that, read this again.
It says, "They want to go down to Egypt and have not asked in my mouth."
Right. So you going down to Egypt to be strengthened and to be stabilized. And ultimately, that means you're going to trust in the so-called white man when all hell breaks loose. You're going to look to the so-called white man for the solution. And when that man tell you, look, if you want to eat, if you want to go back to normal, what you might perceive as normal, then you got to take the chip, right? So that was prophesied. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 36:6. "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed."
Yeah, you trusted in the staff of this broken reed, which is Esau. Go ahead.
On Egypt.
On Egypt. See, we just read you walked down to Egypt. America is modern day Egypt. Go ahead.
Whereon, if a man lean.
If a man lean, right? When you go into the word lean, it pretty much means to trust. Go ahead.
It will go into his hand.
It will what?
Go into his hand.
It will go into his hand. Go ahead.
And pierce it.
And pierce it. Right? So you think we're making this up about the chip, man? Go ahead.
It said, "So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him."
So all those who trust in Pharaoh, you're gonna have to get pierced. All right. So now let's go back to where you was at.
So this is from Stigma.
There's more on the word stigma. Go ahead.
This is from the Merriam-Webster.com. So did you know stigma was borrowed from Latin stigma? Stigma meaning mark
or what?
Brand.
Or brand. This is going to be all an effort to brand you. These devils look at you as nothing more than goyim, right? When you go to the word goyim, which you got that too, right?
Yeah, kind of.
We're going to get into that. When you go to the word goyim, it translates to cattle, pretty much. And I know you probably saw the thumbnail, you know, where the cattle was bored in their ear. You think that's a coincidence? We're going to show you how bad the scriptures is. Go ahead.
All right.
That was
a little bit more. It says, and ultimately comes from Greek stizen, meaning to tattoo.
Oh, and a tattoo is a brand. Okay, So that when you go back to what they call it back in Germany.
Oh yeah,
the Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
Holocaust, yeah.
The extinguishing the squads, But they branded them goddamn Amalekites, whoever the hell they was, man. All right, they win the Jews, right? But they had them extermination squads. You know what I'm saying? That was the spirit of the Lord, though, But they branded them, right? So that's the natural process. When you see what we have developed here is a ruling class mentality. This is not foreign to us. We're gonna be branding you in the kingdom in a certain way. We might not have to. We're gonna brand you with that rod of iron, man. Right? We're gonna beat the shit out you. That's how you're gonna know. It ain't gonna be that complex with us, man. Right? But that's the way of a king.
That's right.
These servants, these are my handmaids, these are my concubines. These are my wife. Hey, there's nothing new with us, right? So this ain't foreign to us, But these devils, this is all an attempt to them try to regain some type of momentum, if you will, on their rulership, and we're gonna go into that. So you got some over here?
Yeah, I got one more verse.
Yeah, go ahead. And
down verse 3, Ezekiel 30 verse 3. It says, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust of the shadow of Egypt your confusion." And if I may,
yeah, you got it.
That goes back into that stigma, that disgrace, that shame.
Ooh, shit, that's bad. That's bad. Yep. Because a stigma is a negative, overtone. Like you might have a woman, she have a stigma of being, sleeping around. That she might go as far as moving to another hood. She might move to another state. Now some nigga junior pop up from the hood. He remember, hey, that stigma, man.
That's the neighborhood.
Yeah. Hey, that was it, right? That was it. All right, come on. So let's get into this now.
All right, this is from Wikipedia.com. Ear tag.
Hold up, ear tag, right? Ear tag. Go ahead.
Says an ear tag is a plastic or metal object used for identification of domestic livestock.
Well, of domestic livestock. Now, matter of fact, could you what's that? Of all the cattle of the field? What is that? All the beasts of the Genesis 3rd chapter.
Beasts of the field, yep.
Matter of fact, give me the one in Ezekiel. What's it? My cattle.
Oh yeah.
I think we quoted it.
Talking about my flock. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is Ezekiel 34.
Because people is known as cattle, man. All right, people is compared to cattle. That's why we showing you. And again, this is only for the spiritual. All right, this is for the spiritual. The Lord don't make no mistake. Everything is set up for the edifying of the church. That's why when you read Wisdom of Solomon, matter of fact, you'll give me that real quick while I look for that. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter, and the 1st verse. You might wonder, why the hell are you going into the Wikipedia talking about cattle with the Bible? Well, there's a reason for that. Because the Spirit of the Lord is in everything. Give me Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 1. It says, "For thine uncorruptible spirit."
Oh, for thine uncorruptible spirit. Go ahead.
"Is in all things."
Is in what?
Is in all things.
Is in all things. So that's why we're going to the Wikipedia and giving you an example right here. And we fishing it through the scriptures, as we're accustomed to do here at Great Millstone. All right. So, give me what you got. Matter of fact, before you read that, let's read that article again.
All right, it says.
Read the source.
All right, it's from Wikipedia, and it's ear tag. It says an ear tag is a plastic or metal object used for identification of domestic livestock.
Of domestic livestock, right? Which is cattle. Okay. So why is we using that? In relation to making a point with the scriptures? Well, let's get it.
Ezekiel 34 and 22. "Therefore will I save my flock."
See, the Lord said he would save his flock. So the Lord is comparing his people to livestock. Right? There's plenty of scriptures. There's plenty of scriptures where the Lord compared us to cattle. What's that? Is that Second Ezra?
I read that on
with that spirit.
Yeah, the Second Ezra 5 and 26. It says, "And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove.
Yep.
And of all the cattle that are made."
And all the what?
The cattle that are made.
Go ahead.
"Thou hast provided thee one sheep."
And who is that? That's Israel, and really that's going into the elect. And we prove that if you jump down, you can go into the one pit Israel. Or it's in there somewhere.
I probably got to jump up on that.
Okay, come on. Well,
All right, well, let me jump up then. This 2 Ezra 5, and I started at 23. It said, "O Lord, that bearers rule of every wood of the earth."
And that wood is dealing with the nations. Okay, go ahead.
All the trees thereof.
See, the trees is dealing with the nations. Read.
Thou hast chosen thee only one vine.
Yep, that's Israel.
And
the elect, go ahead.
And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit.
Yep, go ahead.
And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
Yep.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river.
Uh-huh.
And of all the builded cities, thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself.
Which is Israel. That's why when it said one, the Lord told us one cattle, and that would be the sheep. That's symbolic to people. See, so we not as crazy as you think for going to the Wikipedia and bringing out an example of cattle right here, right? So let's go back there.
Okay. So it says ear tag. It says ear tag is a plastic or metal object used for identification of domestic livestock.
Yeah. So you know you got to be spiritual to understand what this is going into. Even though we know they're talking about sheep, we know that that can be translated into people. And that's why Esau, it really, that's the Lord. Oh, do not the scriptures tell you to consider the beast of the field? See, so that's what we doing. Okay. Go ahead.
It said if the ear tag uses radio frequency identification.
Hold up, slow down. Screw, you know what I mean? Screw this, man. Bring this out. Read that again. Huh?
It said if the ear tag uses radio frequency identification device,
which is what's the acronym for that? RFID. But hold up, it's in the ear, right? Keep that in mind. It's in the ear. See? Go ahead.
Yeah, if the ear tag uses the RFID technology, it is referred to as an electronic ear tag.
Well, hold up. Even when you go down to the first family that was publicly, I think it was in Sarasota, Florida, some crazy shit. Y'all remember that back in the day? Where they had the family on there with the chip? Well, even in that, right, they was pushing it like, you know, we tag your dogs and your cats. That was a precursor, man. That was a foreshadowing what these diabolical devils are looking to do. They're looking to tag you. That's why the scriptures say oppression shouldn't rise up a second time. These devils, the lust of the so-called white man is to have you back in slavery. You know, like Jake lust is to have a goddamn Bugatti or some crazy shit. You know, Esau lust, Esau being some crazy ass shoes, some kids on a mountain bike, man, with millions of dollars. They lust, they different. They not built like you. Their lust is to have you in captivity. That's what Esau want, right? So that's why they're going above and beyond the Call of Duty to push this technology to get you chipped. Now you might say, well, hold up, what about the so-called white men? They're going to be, well, they want everybody chipped, man. You know, they get a rush from having you oppressed. Esau get a kick out of oppression. That's why you ask yourself sometimes, why the hell I got to fill out this goddamn, because this form. That's because Esau get a kick out of it. Some goddamn devil on a monitor. He, you know, looking at you frustrated, man. I mean, that's how I feel. Like I be trying to upload your video. It took me all day to upload my video, you know? I believe there's a devil somewhere in the backdrop, you know, just seeing, you know, getting a kick out of that, you know, having you, you know, oppressed. All right, so you got more over here?
They're pretty much.
All right, so pretty much we just read in Wikipedia where these devils, they actually tag the ears of cattle, right? Now, if you can you give me Gordon?
Okay, yep. All right. So just, you know, this is Deuteronomy 32:8. It said, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he said the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So that word nations.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the word nations right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that word nations is goyim.
Goyim, right?
And it says nations, nation of people, usually of non-Hebrew people, descendants of Abraham, of Israel. It says swarms of locusts, other animals figuratively.
other animals figuratively. So figuratively, nations is symbolic to animals, and in this case, cattle. So that's why we brought out the information in Wikipedia, where you got cattle that's being tagged by their ear, by RFI radio frequency identification tag, right? But it's more. All right, come on, let's get what you got.
All right, God, it's Exodus 21, and I start at 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years shall he serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
Right. So this is the law. You know, if you buy a Hebrew servant, which we are right now, we Hebrew servants, and Esau actually bought us. When you go back to the humble beginnings, the source, if you will, each and every one of us was purchased. That's why you got these last names, Jacksons. You know, you was purchased. You know, you under these devils, man. You was purchased, right? But the scripture says if you buy a Hebrew servant after 6 years of serving or servitude, you got to let them go. Esau didn't let us go, and that's the scripture. Scripture say they let not their oppressors go or something like that.
Yeah, I think is that in Isaiah?
Yeah. They let not their oppressors go free or something like that. All right, go ahead.
God, it says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him.
Yep.
If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters.
So what we're reading right here is the laws concerning slavery, if you will. You know, having a servant. Go ahead. Which is nothing really wrong with servants. That's just, look, man, if you're an employee, that word employee goes back to servant. This is just the scriptures giving you understanding on how to deal with your employee, your servant. All right? It's giving you the conditions, if you will, right? Go ahead.
It said the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master.
And that's what you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have said in the spirit. You love your master. When we present to you the information, you know, in the form of you having a kingdom for yourself, you know, detaching from this world and subscribing to the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah, you know what you say? No, I love my master. It's known as Stockholm Syndrome, where you develop a certain sympathy for your master and your oppressor, right? Read that again.
And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I would not go out free.
Right, I would not go come into the truth. Do not the scriptures say you will know the truth and the truth will set you free? That's it. Hey, go ahead. You got something?
Oh, no.
Yeah, go ahead.
It said, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door and unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through.
Shall what?
Bore his ear through.
Right, and we just read in Wikipedia, well, if you wanted to keep tabs or claim livestock, you bore his ear. So you think this is a coincidence? So how bad the Lord is, how we can use that example and it can be filtered through the scriptures. Right? Go ahead.
It says,
read that one more time.
It said, his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him unto the door and unto the doorpost. And his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
And Esau know that. That's why they said, look, if we could get you to consent, see, that's the thing. You got to willingly consent. Then they would say, you know what? Now you mine forever. So you got to understand, it's all about the birthright. These devils is in desperation mode, and they're looking for some way to try to gain momentum to the kingdom, right? So they said, look, if you consent to getting this boy in your ear, like the scriptures say, you know, then you will be mine forever. So that to cancel you out from being an inheritant of the promise and taking them into captivity. But they then consider the fact that the elect, the elect, that's who the Lord is dealing with. Give it down. How many 2/3 take the chip? You can have them. The elect is going to get you, man. Right? Go ahead.
God, this is that word bore.
All right, so the scripture say you should bore your servant's ear. Go ahead.
The word bore, Strong's 875:27, Raksah. It says to bore, pierce.
To what?
To pierce.
To pierce. Now I'm compared to see if you look up.
I got a little something on that board too.
Okay, come on.
that word boy, it says
what source you coming from?
From the Edamon Online.
Okay.
It says I'm gonna get to the point. It says cylindrical hole through a tube / gun.
Oh shit.
So you made the hole through the tube. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that?
Yep, that's it.
Damn.
We go to that word pierce.
So that's what they use. They use that gun. You know?
Yep.
Spirit.
And that word pierce, just Google definition, and it says sharp pointed object go into or through something. A splinter had pierced the skin. It says,
oh, well, that splinter, that's that stake.
Yep.
Which this whole thing can go into a whole nother phase. When we go into the stake, the pale, the stakes, the karoks. Come on, man. We didn't even scratch the surface yet. You know, this is obvious that the RFID chip technology, the NFC, and the method on how they're going to implement it, it goes right. It fits perfectly well with biblical prophecy, man. Straight up. Hey, we're going to the karoks and the steak and the pear. We're going to another 45 minutes to an hour going into that, man. All right. So let's
a little bit more. It says make a hole with a sharp instrument.
Just saw that. The opening clip gave you a vivid illustration of that. Go ahead.
It says to penetrate, puncture, prick.
Come on, man.
Stab, spike, stick, impale.
Impale. That's that pale. Which when you go into a stake, that's how you stake your claim. You ever heard of that phrase? Stake your claim? Well, that's what these devils trying to do. They're trying to take you as goyim, as servants. And that's what we just read in Exodus. All right? Yep. So you got something?
Yeah, kind of. This is the book of Leviticus 19:28. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
Yep. And that's dealing with the chip. I mean, which we know is dealing with tattoos as well. But ultimately, in the time we're in now, you know, that is dealing with this time we're in now. And that's why when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, there's a major penalty, man, that comes along with taking that chip. All right? You got something?
Yeah, kind of. This Psalm 21:11. It says, for they intended evil against thee. They imagine a mischievous device.
Oh, what's that device? What's that device? What's this mischievous device? That's the RFID chip. Okay? Go ahead.
They imagine a mischievous device which they are not able to perform.
And that's beautiful because the Lord is not going to let these devils crown their enterprise of success. Which the bridge to this whole New World Order, which we know is the New World Order, the bridge to it is you know, the military, of course, waging war on Israel, but mainly is to get everybody chipped. Because to have everybody chipped, pretty much that's where the red list, blue list, yellow list come in. You pretty much know who would be the useless eaters, as these devils have coined it, you know, versus those who are going to be considered what the desirable, so to speak, or some come to mind, that Twilight Zone episode, the obsolete. Those are going to be considered obsolete, but it's all going to be due to chipping and marking you, all right, and tagging you. See, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a quick definition of that word device because we know the scriptures is modern. You got to play on words, and it's a modern book. So this word device, this modern term, the word device, just regular, just Google definition, a thing made or adapted for a particular purpose, especially a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment.
See that? Come on, man. Come on, man. Right? So the scriptures say they conceive a mischievous device, and that's an electronical piece of equipment, right? These devils have been given the technology, but they used it, you know, for their diabolical outlook, right? So give me what you got.
This is the book of Isaiah 32:7. The instruments also of the Lord are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Could you read that again?
It says the instruments also of the Lord are evil.
Yeah, the instruments, right? Well,
he devises wicked devices.
Yeah, he devises wicked devices. That's what this so-called white man do in his meetings, his secret councils. They devising on how really, and again, just to simplify, it all goes back to the birthright, you know. But when you look at the process, you know, the step-by-step play, the play-by-play, a part of that is to get you chipped. All right. So the idea of the RFID chip being biblical and a part of biblical prophecy, that's not far-fetched, man. Okay. In fact, it's the only thing that makes sense. Real talk. You know, you got something else over there?
Yes.
That was it on that?
Yeah, come.
All right, so give me what you got.
Time. Read. This is Revelation 13:16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that word calls, Strong's G 4160, poeo. And it says to make with the names of things made, to produce, construct, form, fashion.
Right, that's the technology. Right.
To be the authors of, to make ready, to prepare. It says to produce, bear, shoot forth. Let's see, jump down a little bit. To make, constitute.
Oh, constitute. Could you look up that word real quick?
All right, the word constitute. It says be part of a whole. Let me click on it. All right, be part of a whole. Parents constitute. Let me see. Combine to form a whole, to be equivalent to. Be constituted, give legal or constitutional form to an institution established by law. That's it.
So it's gonna be made a law here in a minute. Go back.
It says to constitute, appoint one anything, to appoint or ordain.
So ordain.
That's it.
The scripture says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and born. Right? You click on that word ordain. Let's see what that says.
Just the word ordain. It says make a priest or minister.
Oh yeah, that's one aspect. Yeah.
It says order.
Oh, what?
Order.
So you're gonna be ordered to take the chip. Go ahead.
Decree.
There's gonna be a decree made. It's gonna be made mandate. Go ahead.
Something officially.
It's gonna be made official. And when that happens, then you're gonna know that a prophet. Matter of fact, let's close with that.
That's it.
Let's close with that. So all you naysayers out there, those of you who vehemently came up against this idea, you called us crazy. Oh, you remember the old infamous video, the guy Bakwash, we used to call him Baloo?
Yeah.
I don't even know where he at, shit like that, but he made the infamous parody video eating a chip off his hand. You don't hear a peek out of this guy no more. Why? Because now the Lord is beginning to, make manifest, what we've been saying, signing off on, right? And all you people gonna see. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 33:33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them.
Yeah, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you laborers out there, as well as you believers, the Akim and the Aqua, that subscribe to the truth as well. To the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, Obab, Babal.